And welcome back to the Why Do Boys Make podcast. It is Tuesday, December 3rd at 8 p.m. Tonight, we have a very special episode planned. Before we begin and get into the weeds of it, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude for my co-host continuing to be here, even after the events of this past weekend. I, of course, am talking about Colin. Colin, should I even ask how you are?
Corby, it's so good to be here. I'm doing so good to be here. So glad to be here. An excellent time. It's having such an excellent time to be here. I'm so happy. This is great. Let's keep going. It's good.
I alluded to it at the beginning of the show about 45 seconds ago. We do have a very, very special episode and a very special guest. And I mean very special. You may know him as the guy who is from Connecticut, or the local friend group IT guy, or even that guy on the disc golf course who throws like a clay pigeon launcher. I, of course, am talking about everyone's friend and everyone's love. I'm talking about Luke. Luke, welcome to our fantasy football podcast, of which you're now in the league.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
How you doing?
I'm good. Looking forward to the Love Is Blind podcast.
Oh man, that's probably the next my next pet project. So we should probably talk about that. If you've seen an episode or two, I'm sure you haven't. We like to, for the first time guests, we like to do our interviews. Get our guests out of their shells, right? So obviously, the first question we're going to ask you, and I'm going to ask you, is why do boys play games?
So, have any of you guys ever played a video game ever?
What's that?
Yeah, exactly. So you know how you can eat an item and it's like a debuff, or like say you're in the cold and you eat something hot and it warms you up so you don't take cold damage. That's what games are for me for my social awkwardness. 5 minutes of uninterrupted silence of just talking about football with my friends. I'll take that any day of the week.
What a genuinely fantastic answer. I couldn't have put it better myself. I love it. It's great. What do you think, Colin? Do you think that exemplifies how we feel about games and the mantra of it all?
I think games are just a distraction from the meaningless void of life. So
oh my God!
Oh, that's actually what I meant. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so we got Sad Sack Colin here. We'll get into why he's in such a foul mood in a little bit. But before we move on, this is the number one question that I've been dying to learn more about. As some may know, that there is a list of people waiting to get into this fantasy football league. I believe that Luke has jumped everyone in that list and is now the next person up. So, Luke, I want to know, why do you think that? Well, number one, who do you think that you should replace in the Why Do Boys Play Games Fantasy Football League, and why do you believe that you should be a part of it if you want to be?
So I definitely want to be. I think the Discord League has allowed me to prep a little bit for the Why Do Boys Play game because I've never done auction before, so I'm still getting used to that format a bit. I'm more of a snake draft guy. But I definitely do like the auction format because with snake, you kind of like have to luck into your guy a little bit, but auction, you can get your guy no matter what. That being said, Adam's got too much going on. He's too successful. He's too successful in fantasy. He needs to let a little guy take the reins a little bit, I think. And I think I should usurp Adam in the league.
Wow.
That's also partially because I know Adam will never leave the league, and I think it would make a good rivalry story for when I do eventually join the league. Yeah, Adam, bye-bye.
That's one of the last answers I'd expect.
That was not my choice. But Adam, I'm sure we'll hear about it in the comments below. Do you ever plan on leaving the Why Do Boys Play Games Fantasy Football League? Let us know below. As we're still on this is a fantasy football podcast after all. It's fun to look back and think about the people that we dreamed that would carry us to the playoffs, which we're about to start next week. It's fun to reminisce on those fantasy darlings that we had. Now, Luke, I'm not in any league with you at this point. What is somebody who is a player that you were looking forward to during the off season, who was like your guy, who you got? It just turns out he was not the guy that you wanted him to be.
So after draft season, I was upset. I only got this guy in one league, but obviously now I'm happy about it, but that's Amari Cooper. Because I'm a snake draft guy, he like fell a lot of rounds compared to where he used to go. So I was like, oh, I can get Amari Cooper for cheap this year. And he was cheap because he was not good, apparently. Not partially like all of his fault, but some of his fault, because like even now that he's on the Bills, he's still not doing great. And Jerry Judy's like crushing it on the Browns now. So yeah, Amari Cooper let me down big time.
Colin, not to put you on the spot here, but do you have anybody you're thinking about?
I'm sure. Who's someone I paid a lot for? It's hard to say. I don't think. I mean, why do boys play games? It's kind of hard because, like, I didn't really get a lot of the guys I wanted because I made a mishap. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, but I didn't draft. I mean, I drafted, but I didn't keep him. Like, he's someone who I had like ranked like he was. You know, I took him in Discord too because he was like my must-have guy. In hindsight, that was a poor decision. And then I think I had DeAndre Swift really high, and he did really good for the first like half of the year, but now like 8 or 9 games, but now he's kind of fallen off. But I still like him. But I don't think anyone I'd have to look. I don't remember. Mark Andrews, obviously, I was really high on him, but he's been doing good now, so can't hate on him too much.
Fortunately, we have like 3 or 4 more weeks of this podcast, and we have a lot of dead air to fill because we're only going to really care about a few matchups. So bring your reminiscences for a future episode. Good call out on Amari Cooper. He has been absolutely useless this season. He sucks. I also wanted to bring this up. In case our listeners are unaware, Luke is the go-to source on all things macaroni and cheese. Now, when I think of mac and cheese, I think of Luke. And so I want to know, Luke, when you're making or consuming a macaroni and cheese, what is the ideal noodle for the item?
First, I'll give honorable mentions to elbows and shells. Those are classic. And, SpongeBob, of course, too. But the best for me is a good penne. I've become a penne alla vodka guy, too. So just that noodle in general, like, traps the sauce in it. So you just get a little burst. It's like a gusher for pasta.
Can't go wrong with any of those. That's absolutely on point.
Luke, you're a big movie guy, right?
Yeah. I would not as much as some of you guys, but yeah, for sure.
Well, we went and saw Madam Web together, so he must like movies a decent amount. And Sony makes a lot of these movies. I call it the Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel, or SPUM for short.
Yes, yeah.
So these SPUM movies include, Morbius and Venom 3 and the upcoming Craven and probably some other ones I don't remember. Are you gonna see we saw Madam Web? Are you gonna watch? I think they're all gonna make a movie with Jared Leto and who else was Dakota Johnson.
Oh, they're doing Madam Web again?
Maybe. If they're going to do a Sinister Six movie, will you come see it with us?
Oh, of course. We have to go see Craven, too.
That one sounds like it might actually be good.
I don't think so.
No? I feel like people are talking about it.
I have no faith in those movies. Did you see the Ravens ad for it?
I did see the Ravens ad for it.
What do you mean? There was like
the Baltimore
Ravens?
Yeah, you gotta look it up.
I gotta see it. Is that Aaron Taylor Johnson, right? That is.
Yeah, he's been in like 3 superhero franchises now, and they've all failed.
We watched 50 Shades last night. It's directed by his wife. Who's like 20 years older than him.
Oh, yeah.
Swag.
But were you guys gooning during it?
What's that?
That's for another pod.
That's for pod after dark. We'll talk about it on After Dark. We'll talk about that and Love is Blind.
Episode, gooning and Love is Blind. So that was it. A very, very short interview for Luke. I do understand that Luke has brought something to the table. Let's give him the floor and let's see what happens.
Yeah. So you guys are in multiple leagues, right?
Correct.
Have you noticed that you maybe unintentionally or intentionally drafted players in both leagues or in all the leagues?
Oh, extremely intentionally, yes.
Intentionally? Okay, how about you, Corby?
I have a little bit of overlap, but not as much as I usually do. I try to keep it pretty variable. I have like maybe the same quarterback in 2 leagues, but that's really it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same where I try to stick to my guys, but then I accidentally overlap places. And then in addition to the players, there's also managers that interlap. Like the Why Do Boys Play Games and the Discord League has managers that overlap. So it's kind of like we're intertwined in some kind of web. A web that connects us all. And I present, if it'll work. Is it?
Yeah.
Adam Webb. You might be asking why Adam. And it's simply because his name worked the best with the title of Madam Web. And also because I think he would really enjoy being tied to some Marvel franchise because I know how much he loves those movies. So I thought it'd just be fun to do a little compare contrast of the two leagues. So I did some comparisons of the leagues. One major difference is you guys have 2 more players. One thing I noticed too was points for the first place team. I think we only have one different like lineup spot, and it's just the defense. I think our scoring is pretty similar, but it's almost like a 300 point gap in between first place. But this next slide here. Okay, so transactions over the web, the Adam web, if you will. So Why Do Boys Play Games is on the left. 289 total transactions compared to 128 transactions in the Discord League. So that's about 24 per team for Why Do Boys Play Games and 12.8 for Discord. I did take Steven out for an outlier because he has done nothing with his team all season. And Colin, if you remember, I think we were all saying he has like one of the best teams after the draft, and now he's like, he's not going to make playoffs. He hasn't. Like if you look at his lineup, like it's 4 people on IR, 2 people that like got dropped by teams. It's not good. So there's a 318 total fab left in the Why Do Boys Play Games. That's about 26.5 per team. One team has 100 left, so they haven't spent anything this year, and that's Taylor. And 2 teams with 0 left, and that's Chris B and Chris Colby. So good on them for making moves, I guess. Now, if you look at Discord League, nobody's making any moves. 532 total fab left, and again, that's with less people in the league too. 53.2 per team. 2 teams with 100 left. Again, that's Steven, who doesn't do anything, and Eric, who has like 3 transactions, I think. Not much at all. And then there's 2 teams with 0 left. Adam and Mike B. So now we can look at the teams. What players overlap between the leagues? What players does Adam have on both teams? So he has Patrick Mahomes, which I think we all kind of could have guessed. Tony Pollard, Cedric Tillman, and Roshan Johnson. Again, he's not drafting all these people, so these are going to be free waiver wire ads and whatnot. So let's compare his record. So Why Do Boys Play Game? He's dead last. Maybe another reason why I should replace him. Again, this is so I should preface this. This is from last week's standings. I don't know how we're gonna go over later how last week's matchups went. So maybe standings changed because I think he was tied for last with Taylor. But his total points for is about the same. But one thing that does stand out is his points against is much higher. Not much higher, but like a good 100 to 200. About the same number of transactions. So he's a consistent waiver wire guy. Mike B, Bo Nix, and Xavier Legette. Mike loves Xavier Legette. I didn't know this about him, but now I know. Like Xavier Legette is Mike B's guy. So comparing his record, it's about the same in both leagues, standing wise. Total points for is only about like 100 difference. Transactions. I mean, he's only done 5, but I guess he maybe thought he didn't really need to do any. But $0 left actually, so he just used all his fab. Chris Cloud, just Josh Downs, no one else. He does like penis names. It's something. One thing most consistent about Chris is he does like to troll, and apparently having phallic team names is something he loves. Again, his stats are pretty, unison across the board too. Fitzies. How many do you think Fitzy has between
0?
You think 0?
I definitely. So in the past, there have been times in which Fitzy has multiple of the same guy in every single league. I feel like he probably had Jordan Mason in this league as well, but like I feel like he's gonna have like four or five.
So he has by far the most, and it is 7.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Anthony Richardson, AJ Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Chuba Hubbard, Evan Ingram, Drake May, and Jamison Williams. Which honestly, some of those are pretty good, but some of them obviously not so good. I mean, I guess Drake May is probably on his bench in both leagues, as I would think. I don't know about why boys play games, if that's just like a filler for him. One thing I did want to point out, I know how you guys usually say starting 2 tight ends is a swag strat. Last week he started 4 tight ends.
That's sick.
That is a swag strat.
I think this is another difference in our league. I think only one of your flex spots you can put a tight end in. In ours, you can put in 3.
That's fucking insane.
And you know what? They're all good plays.
He's got like the top 4, or he's got like at least the top 3. Oh, that's good.
So he's actually what is keeping me out of playoffs in the Discord League. I need him to lose this week and me to win, and that's the only way I make it in. But he is doing pretty consistently in both leagues. It's just probably just matchup based is why I would assume there's some variation there. Chris Peaswebs, Jerry Jeudy, Trey McBride, and Alexander Madison. Now, I think this is the biggest contrast between the leagues because Chris P is like, what, in first or second place?
He's in first place now.
He's in first place. He is dead last in our league.
Wow.
So, and that's with some players in common. Obviously, these guys aren't big names, and honestly, Jerry Jeudy might have been someone that rode his bench for a long time. That's kind of just now starting to like get his stride. Do you know Jerry Judy's like first in yards since week 8 now, with when Jameis Winston took over as QB, which is kind of crazy. Which just goes to show how bad the bad man is.
Nasty guy.
Colin, do you have any guesses, or can you name off the top of your head who you think you have in both leagues?
If this was right after the draft, I think I'd have more, but I know I dropped and traded a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Love, Pickens, Reed. I don't have Swift anymore. Who else? I don't know. I don't think I have Ertz. I almost got it. Oh, Cup. That was the other one. Yep,
Jordan Love, Jaden Reed, George Pickens, Cooper Kupp. And Colin's in first in the Discord League.
Yeah, my team is ass, though. That team sucks.
You do have 100 more points for in the look at that points against. I know you've been.
I'm fourth. I'm fourth in points for in our league. I'm fourth in points for in Why Do Boys Play Games.
Yeah, points against. I know you're. I heard you.
We'll get into it. Let's keep going.
Were quite upset last week.
Last week?
I didn't hear, but I didn't. So first place webs. So I compared the first place teams. So I didn't put Discord League on this because we just reviewed them.
It's fucked up.
But who do you think is on both first place teams? And Colin, you might have a little of an advantage on this because you know who's on your team.
Wait, so is Corby the first place team in
so I did both Chris. So at the time, Corby and Crispy were tied, so I put both of them on this list.
Yeah, okay. I don't know who's on. I have no idea.
It's okay. You would have never guessed them. Terry McLaurin and Trey Benson.
That was my first.
Yes, Trey Benson, of course.
And then Chris P, there was no one in common, so he's just a unique guy, I guess, very special man. And last place webs, is there anyone you think? So Adam was the last place Adam and Taylor, last place in Whitey Boys.
Patrick Mahomes.
Either him or Juju Smith-Schuster or DeAndre Hopkins.
Some
Close.
Chief. Give me some Chief.
Yeah, it's going to be a Chief. That Chief is going to be Isaiah Pacheco, and because of an extension of that, Kareem Hunt. Not really Kareem Hunt's fault. It's just that's who the handicap ended up being. Jordan Addison, who has, I think we all agree, has kind of had a down year. And kind of a surprise, I didn't realize, I guess Matthew Stafford is having kind of a down year.
He's having a good year. I thought he was having a good year. I thought he was good. But has it been the last few games? I don't know. It
might just be a coincidence with these leagues then. I'm not sure if there's a larger study out there that has all the leagues. But yeah, that's all I had. I just thought it'd be fun to get that in there, do a little comparison of the leagues, and also make Adam be Madam Web.
That's incredible. That is, I was not expecting this. The amount of leagues that we have is staggering. Not only is there the Discord league, there's the $100 league, which is a keeper league. Then there's the 2 tight end league, which is like it's as Fitzy calls it, the Noah's Ark League, because we do 2 of every position, except for kicker and defenses, which we should totally do.
Oh, that'd be sick.
It would be awesome.
That would be insane.
Anyways, this is about the Why Do Boys Play Games. Like, thank you so much, Luke. Thanks for extending the universe. I really appreciate it. Let's move on to some mailbag stuff, finally.
Wait, do we have something before the mailbag, or was that after?
What is before?
Nothing. It doesn't matter. Keep going.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do the mailbag thing. Colin.
Here I said Egmund Kamastal Ursula Kapanina. Oh, that didn't age well.
This is for later.
Can you just heart it or thumbs it up or something? Fuck. God damn it. Get no wins.
Well, you've been talking a lot about Adam, Luke. So why don't you take all the Adam comments? I'll take all the Mike ones.
Okay. Happy Turkey Day.
Fitzy may correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure the costume did have syringes on it and scored alcohol out of it. That sounds very on brand for Fitzy, so I replied, it wouldn't surprise me if Fitzy loves squirting.
I know.
I'm gonna like my own comment.
Adam says Bryce Young, sneaky good. I don't know if that's a question or a statement, actually. I think it's a statement. He's standing firm on that.
I think it is.
Adam also says Mike's innovation in team naming will have influence for decades. And goes on to say, yeah, that's logic, and that's exactly what he looks like IRL.
It's really fun to watch you read these without any context.
I don't have context. I watched last week, too, and I still don't have context.
That was his profile picture, was the rapper Logic.
Oops. All right. It was a joke about Justin Timberlake comment earlier this year when getting arrested for a DUI about ruining the world tour. I don't remember this comment, but he says to the cop, this is going to ruin the tour. Cop, what tour? JT, the world tour.
Damn.
This is something that is still talked about in our household. I think it's pretty funny. The Scoon. Shouts out to the Scoon. We'll get into it. It was an Akuma quote. I went through a list of all his quotes across all games, and this is one of his victory quotes that I felt fit for our matchup. LOL. What do you think, Colin? You think it's an appropriate Akuma quote?
What was it?
Look into the eyes of the man who,
my God,
or ruined you or something.
Some great rote memory. Yeah, that's a good quote. Yeah, he ruined me. So well done.
He did.
I am ruined.
The parade used to be better. Not great now, but yes, the bands are awesome.
What do you think about the Macy State Thanksgiving parade?
I'm not a fan. I'd rather have football on.
Hell yeah.
I usually can't, but my mom used to make us watch it. I think she's outgrown it, though.
Well, lucky for you, they have it on Peacock, so like you could just go and like catch up on it right now if you're interested.
I actually have it on my other screen.
So we didn't talk about this, obviously, because we recorded before. There was a segment in which Jimmy Fallon was on a float with the Roots, and Jimmy Fallon is pretending to sing this song called Hey Rudy. And it's maybe the most insufferable thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Jimmy Fallon, not a fan. Cold take, I know. Mike's memories are great. To be honest, I think I drafted that team as Latrice's butt darts, and Jimmy took over, but it came back next year. I remember Cash telling me I needed to pick up Benny Cunningham on the waiver wire. ... There's nothing left? Or is there more?
It's just one of those things where like, oh, there you go.
For other memories, I know this was brought up fairly recently, but the Jamal Lacoste game was legendary. Yeah, Jamal Lacoste will certainly be on Mike's memories, mostly because I believe that was a playoff game, and that was probably a huge thing. So we need to talk about that.
I don't know. I feel like when Fitzy went over high, I feel like that was one of the highest scoring. Because I think was that our first year, wasn't it?
Maybe so. It was either our first year or the second year.
I feel pretty confident it was the first year because I think it was when my team was like really good, the first and last time. So and I'm pretty sure we went over like because I think I scored like 242 one week, and I'm assuming, and I know it was in the playoffs. I think it's against Mike. And I think we've gone over it with Fitzy when he was doing high scoring games. I don't know if you're remembering wrong. We'll see. We can look back.
Where were you during the Jamal Lacoste of 2013?
I don't even know who that is.
Jamal Charles, he had like a 5 touchdown game.
Oh, Jamal Charles. Oh, okay.
He had a
I
5
don't
touchdown
think...
game, and he exterminated his competition. It's called the Jamal Lacoste. The great.
Surprised they don't teach that in history.
They really should. They really should. We need a new segment, Colin's Crying Corner. Don't worry, we'll get into it. Great Peaky Finders as always. I was definitely a huge fan of the Peaky Finders this year.
It doubled as a crying corner too. When we went over scores such as Taylor and Adam and others.
Corby versus Chris, winner is all but guaranteed first seed based off their Week 14 matchups. Yes, this is correct, and we will get into that. Won't bury the lead on that one. I see Colin and Cash making playoffs.
Wrong.
They did. All right, here we go.
Adam, Zach Ertz is up to tight end 13 in average points, almost a T1.
Another great week for Zach Ertz. Chalk it up. Another touchdown.
Has he been having a good year?
Yes.
He's been having like this ridiculously phenomenal year. It's
really okay.
My one pick always has a good year. Last year, who was it? I forget.
Adam.
Sam Howell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was really good.
He was good for a while.
Adam also says always bet the Chiefs, and it's because they have the refs on their side. Am I right?
It's true.
Oh shit.
Adam, I will not cram the comment box. This is my last one. Eat a lot of turkey today, everyone. Yeah, get out of here, Adam. Just like you're gonna be out of the league.
Definitely, probably a record low comments for Adam here.
Yeah. All right. Now we got to get Colin in here. Why don't you read the Fitzy comments?
I'll read some Fitzy comments here. But Fitzy, he proceeds this. He says, "Bread comment, just letting us know. Love the bread ball shout out. My sick fuck version of bread was taking untoasted white bread and layering on the sprayable. I can't believe it's not butter. If I get dementia next year, now you know why. The stuff was probably 30% plastic. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know there was a product of sprayable. I can't believe
that's foul.
Butter.
That is absolutely foul.
You what?
That's crazy. That's, Fitzy, I got to give you, shouts out to you for even admitting that and putting this in a comment. It's unbelievably.
Not that bad, is it?
Untoasted too?
Well, it's just like putting butter on bread, except it's weird. Apparently sprayable. I can't believe it's not butter. I don't know. I would eat just bread with butter. Why not? I'm sure I did that as a kid. All right, here we go. Fitzy also says, I apologize for not responding to last week's secret question. But I have to admit, I didn't tune into the pod. I lived it. The Macy's Day Parade was never even in contention to be on the TV. I have never understood the draw to watch. ... And this week's special question. Tyler and Chris Cloud are locked in for a playoff spot. Wrong.
Oh, he's half right.
Half wrong. Was this one already thumbs up, or did you just thumbs up?
I thumbs it up.
Like already, not just now?
Yeah.
Of himself. Yes, administration and betting. I used to think Fitzy was a really honest and just like good person, and this year's really, between this and the whole Daniel Jones. It's really changed my opinion. Sorry. So those I'll take Chris Colby here, this first one here. He said, after a nice week off from the comments, I'm back. It's Chris Colby, Fantasy Football 4. What else did he say? Should I do it?
Yeah, you said you were gonna take it, didn't you?
I said the first one. All right, here we go.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Colbstradamus, nice, predicts Tyler and Chris Colby. Nope, wrong, half wrong for the last 2 playoff spots. Let's skip this next one. They showed how Chris spending all that money on Bryce Young and us. Oh, okay. Really sends a message. Bryce 30-point watch is on. Okay, yeah. Then I was right. I don't want to read that. They showed had a countdown to Santa. They showed had a countdown to Santa counter on for the whole parade, and then they showed him for 15 seconds, and the parade was over. 0 brooms out of 5.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. It's such a fucking letdown.
Corby, let's go. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
All right, feel free to save this one for later on in the pod when you're breaking down the league standings if it makes more sense there. Oops.
Nah, fuck that. We're doing it right now.
After crushing losses for Tyler and Colin, the league's playoff picture is set with one lame duck week to go. I'd like to hear your thoughts on waiver etiquette for the bottom feeders before they enter the losers bracket. Full transparency, I plan on chasing Yahoo points and dumping some fab on Tommy DeVito, but I want to know 3 perspectives. Corby is a playoff team. We'll be dumping it all on Garendo. Do you care about someone covering a bye week gap with your bye week secured? Colin is a fellow early loser. Are you ever excusing yourself only in the playoffs? Mystery non-league or member guest. Do we pay too much attention to league minutia? I know we asked this to Adam like last year or something, and he said like, or I think he said he I feel like he said he doesn't like it, but he doesn't have a problem. I was gonna say he said he doesn't have that he would do it, but I think he said he wouldn't personally do it, but he doesn't have a problem with it. And I would, yeah, I definitely would do it. If I'm not in the playoffs, I don't care. You're here to win games, whether you're in playoffs or not. Absolutely, dump everything if you're not in playoffs. Fuck it, play spoiler. We're not even playing the other. You still play spoiler even if you're not even playing the game against the people. I don't give a shit about anything.
I agree with you for sure. To answer the number one question, I will not be dumping it all on Garendo because there's somebody in the league who has $1 more fab than I do, who already has a waiver claim for that person.
Is it Brandy?
It's Brandy. So I will not even attempt to be getting Garendo. I will skip to the we will my 2-week buy strategy we'll dive into in the next question. But Luke, how do you feel about it? Do you like to play spoiler? Do you not care when it's all over and done for and whatnot? Or
I will keep on trying to win my matchup until playoffs start. What? I'm not gonna do anything during playoffs. Like I'm not gonna make any waiver wire ads or claims during playoffs. If I'm not in it. But leading up to playoffs, I will still be making claims and stuff to win my week and affect the playoff standings if I can.
If I was in playoffs, I would probably say the other thing, but because I'm not in playoffs, I'm going to say that I think you should not do it,
I say you play the game however you want to play it. It's a game, right? I don't really care what you do. If you don't want to do it, then thanks for letting me have them. If you want to do it, then that's the name of the game. Question for Corby. How do you prepare differently knowing your team is on a 2-week bye? Are you picking up more handcuffs? Week 16, 17 defenses. Yes, great question. If you'll notice, I have Blake Corum and Trey Benson on my bench right now. I've had them on my bench for multiple weeks at this point. They're just sitting there rotting away. I will be evaluating by defenses coming up shortly, depending on who the Broncos play, because I have the Broncos defense and I feel really good about them. I'm just going to try to hold my breath and not get any injuries. Is really the grasp of it. Thank you all for the comments. Really appreciate it. Fitzy, great questions. Really like it. Really like the content that we are getting. Let's move on to the brass tasks. Yeah, the brass tacks of the show. I can't fucking talk. Jesus Christ. Oh, what the heck?
What?
All right. So a few weeks ago, number one, I didn't add this. I just found out about this a moment ago. Colin, can you tell me about this?
Oh, this is I realized I put this full screenshot in. I meant to crop it, but I guess now you guys can tell what YouTube video I was watching. So last week or a couple weeks ago, we talked about these ads with like Anthony Starr, where he's like, Luke, do you ever see YouTube ads, or do you just have them blocked everywhere?
No, I see them.
Do you ever get the ones with or that you ever used to? Because I never see them anymore. And by anymore, I mean the past week. I like Anthony Starr with like the fake games. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you like? I think I have actually.
He's like playing I'm playing Total War. I think it's like Total War.
Yeah. I don't think I knew who Anthony Starr was, but I'm sure I've seen him.
Yeah. And so I've been getting those for like 2 weeks straight, and now this past week, like this, a week and a half or 2 weeks or something. This is the ad I get every time. Every time there's an ad, this is what I get. I get this like weird incel dating simulator or something. I wanted to ask if you guys have seen these ads because you guys had seen the last ones.
Yeah, no, these targeted ads don't hit me. I don't know.
It's
what you're
not
into.
targeted. What the fuck is this? I've never done anything in my life. I've never played a dating sim. I've never like Googled anything that would like feed me this. I don't, and it's the same thing with the. I've never bought a mobile game. I think I bought one mobile game or maybe two in my entire life. Why did Anthony Starr tell me to get this game? And why is this here?
Homelander needs you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what? Do you scare her or sneak a peek?
And then
Yeah, what would you do? I think that's what we all want to know. Is that A for all ages?
it's a. Is that what you said?
It's an A for rated A for all ages.
Oh yes, all ages. AO for all ages. What would I do? I'd sneak a peek, sure. Why not?
Top Girl Produce 101 now available. Download it on your local app store today. Let's get into the brass tacks of it. This was a huge week for a lot of teams. This was a pretty interesting matchup. So if you look at the original projections, we had Tyler out projecting Brandy by a few points here. And it did not go the way that any of us had anticipated. So for the record, Brandy pulls off the victory, 131 to 119. Everybody on this show, including the coin, picked Tyler. Fitzy put in an anecdote here and says, Fitzy picks Tyler lock of the week because he has to win, right? Well, unfortunately, he didn't, right? So let's look at the culprits. It's a lot of the same things that we've been seeing before. I mean, not exactly, right? Garrett Wilson has been very all over the place. Kenneth Walker has absolutely fallen off a cliff. Really surprised to see TJ Hawkinson kind of have a down week, but I guess with Justin Jefferson, it's hard to feed both of them in the same offense, right? Calvin Ridley is not him, and his whole team just kind of collapsed right at the end, and I feel bad for him. Brandy, you were already locked in, but you have now cemented yourself at a point where you're currently in third place, which is absolutely mind-boggling for some of us. I love it. I love. I still like the team. Rashad Bateman, swag strat, 0 points. He's out. That sucks. I'm interested to see how the playoff scenarios go after this week, but it should be an interesting ride. And again, I said this last time. It's just the fact that you're in the playoffs is awesome. And we are on silver watch for Brandy, by the way. Brandy is currently 6 points away from getting silver after this victory.
I was in Discord with Tyler for this matchup, and he quietly said to himself, "I'd rather be working than watching football right now."
Well, you can't see him here, but on his bench is Najee Harris with 25. He has Keenan Allen with 24.3. Those are the two big ones. Ray McLeod outscored a lot of people here. Except Mike Gesicki. Oh no, except Mike Gesicki. Cooper Rush outscored Herbert. Oh, and Baker. Cooper Rush is on his bench as high school. So it's tough to look at. And it's also tough to look at because, it would have been nice if I had one team score this little in the last 5 weeks, and then I would probably be in playoffs. Meanwhile, Brandy hasn't scored above like 135 in like 8 weeks, and has somehow gone like 5-3 in that span. So that's nice. Good for Brandy for somehow pulling that off. That's some real football fantasy skill right there. Well done. The 2 tight end flex is devastating. Obviously a hard carry for these past few weeks, I think, for Brandy. That's crazy. It's too powerful. It must be stopped. I think we need to change the rules next year. I'm joking, of course. Do we know who Brandy's playing? And is she the third? Yeah, she's the third seed. So 6th seed will probably be, I think it'll be Chris Cloud, because it depends if they're playing each other, right? 5th and 6th. I think Chris Colby will, well, not to get into things, but probably Chris Cloud. Yeah, that'll be a real barn burner for a first round playoff game.
Luke, any other thoughts on this matchup?
I just feel for Cash. I know he loves football. He's commissioner of this league, and unfortunately made some
third in points for.
I think he said for Keenan Allen in the 2 leagues. In 2 leagues he played against him, and he popped off. And the 1 league he has him, he didn't start him.
Yeah. We know it all too well. It just happens to be Tyler this year, and that sucks.
But congrats, Brandy. You're crushing it.
Congrats, Brandy. Speaking of crushing things, Colin, Here,
Oh,
your
no.
dreams have been crushed. You had a fantastic, right in the midst of the team average range here, scoring 156, losing to Chris Cloud by a little less than 10 points. Yeah, I mean, your guys came through for you. Jaden Reed came through. James Cook came through. Zach Ertz came through. Pickens came through. The guys who didn't come through, Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb. It's just hard to dig out of a hole when your big guys can't do it. I don't know who's on your bench. I'm sure you will inform us momentarily. And Chris had a great week too, even with Ricky Pearsall, swag strat 0 points. I think he's had 0 points like 2 or 3 weeks in a row at this point, Ricky Pearsall. So if you keep starting him, he'll keep winning, I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Colin?
On Sunday I left work at 2:30, as I often do. I wanted to go see a movie. And I think at that point I had Yahoo had like 83%. I went and saw Gladiator 2, and then when I came out, I think I was at like 53. So I'd like to read you guys my review of Gladiator 2 now. Paul Mescal shines as the titular Gladiator 2 in the film Gladiator 2. Watches his rippling muscles beat the bad guys with fists and swords and all manners of weaponry. The movie looks really good, and the horses are real and fast, and Pedro Pascal plays a sad boy general who just wants to play video games, but the vampire emperors want him to get more monkeys to keep his pets. So he's there, and he's hacking and slashing and doing all those things and so forth, and the movie's kind of silly. And there was a lot of eye rolling in my orbital sockets, and it feels more like an adaptation of a fan fiction sometimes, rather than a professional screenplay. But that being said, it's a lot of fun, and a lot of sweaty half-naked men are wrestling. They get down and dirty, and it's totally outrageous fun and being total bros. I give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's the definition of it's a movie, and Denzel Washington is there. What do you think about this matchup, Luke?
It sounds more riveting than Gladiator 2. Very close matchup. I'm proud of Chris for starting a second QB, although you might not be happy about it. I guess with this though, in the season you've had, Colin, how do you feel about like leagues that play against also like the league median each week?
Oh no, I mean obviously it's it's a crime against competition, but it is the game. It's part of the game.
Okay.
I'm not that salty about it. Like, and I mean, I'll joke about that, like I said about the making waiver moves in playoffs because it affects me, but no, like yeah, it's part of the game. I'm not that salty. I mean,
Speaking
I am.
of not being that salty about it, let's move on to a special edition of Colin's Charts presented by Colin.
This is Colin chart. All right, so this doesn't have a key, so you're just looking at it, you're like, what is this? So the blue. This isn't the actual weeks 1 through 6. This is weeks what? What was this last week? 13 or 4? There was 13, right? So this is 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So this sets week 8. So 6 games. So the blue line is the projection of the team I was playing, and the orange line is what they actually scored. So as you can see here, this is not fair. What was the closest one? That's week 10, number 3 there, where I think it was like Mike or no, I don't forget who. Yeah, it was Mike. I think I don't know. They were projected for like 160, and they scored like 185 or something. So 25 was the least difference between projection and actually maybe that last that one was bigger. Yeah, that was the smallest, was about 25 points over projection. So over this week, as you can see, last week when I did Piggy Finders, I calculated the league average of every team to be like 140, 142 or something. So over this stretch of games, I averaged about 152, a little less, so almost 10 points above league average. I went 1-5 in this stretch. Again, Brandy has averaged like less than a 130 in this same stretch and went like, or longer than this. I think it was like week 7 or 6, maybe even. Went like 5-3 in the last 8 games, averaging like 130. So but like I just said, it's the name of the game. Honestly, this was a cursed season from the start. The infamous CeeDee Lamb thing, who again, it's just poetic that he scores like 4 points in the game where I needed him most. So this guy who I didn't even want on my team and I spent $90 on, So it is what it is. This was always a lost year, and I think the fact that I came in 4th in points, almost made playoffs, just a testament to how skilled I am. So I think I won this. I think I actually won the championship this year. So I'm gonna add this to my rings. So I actually won this year. Thank you.
So if you were to power rank teams right now, you would have yourself at number 1.
I'm definitely number 1. I'm probably number 0. And there's no. I'm above number 1 because that is actually incredible that I drafted Christian McCaffrey for $70 and a CeeDee Lamb for 87. And I turned it into the 4th most high scoring team in the league. And it's 12 people.
It did make playoffs.
It didn't make playoffs.
Wait,
Not
you
my
didn't
fault,
make
as you
playoffs?
can see. No, I didn't make playoffs.
Oh.
Because of this right here. What are you looking at? I went on a 5-game losing streak. I did win that first week because I scored a lot of points. But after that, I mean, I was still going against a team that wasn't projected for a lot. It scored a lot. It is what it is, and what it is bullshit. I think everyone knows that. You know, you can laugh because it's me. Look at fucking Taylor there at week number 4. There. Look at that bullshit. Literally 100 points above his projection. So infuriating.
Hey, you know, you win some, you lose more, as they say. Speaking of winning some and losing with some, this was the battle for first place. This was me versus Chris. As you can see, it was a pretty close matchup. Chris puts up the 200 burger. I scored 195. Now, there is a path to victory here for me. I overthought my lineup this weekend, and I thought about Terry McLaurin's his targets over the past 4 weeks. And so I put him on the bench. And then I forgot to realize that Buffalo was playing in the snow. And so I would have probably started him over Juwan Jennings. And so that's my path to victory here. Not to say that Chris's team doesn't deserve its flowers, because, I mean, his team is absolutely incredible. Jerry Jeudy has the best game of his career. And they still lose the football game because he's just another guy. But anyways, swag strat with George Kittle, 1 catch, 7 yards, still scored 200 points. I mean, like, this team is the team to beat, and there's a reason it's in first place, and it deserves to be in first place.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident that we're looking at the championship. This is a championship preview right here. That's 2 clear best teams in the league. Chris is averaging a 200 burger in the last 3 weeks. He's just been on a dominant stretch, and Corby's not that far off. As we went over in Peaky Finders, his team is you know, it's unassailable. Oh, I guess excluding this week. Finally ends the winning streak, which is tragic because, like, Corby went over. There are some points on the bench, but you scored 195. So that's a shitty way to end your winning streak. But you were due because even though you earned your wins, as we said last week, you did also get a lot of luck. This is the luck that you had because you didn't face this kind of team, and you did. But it doesn't matter. Not really. You know, you're going to be 2nd seed. I think you're gonna make it to the championship. So will Chris. I think that's my prediction. You guys are going to play for the big trophy at the end. And one of you guys is going to come out a winner. Will Chris be? Does Adam have 3, or does he have 2?
Adam has at least.
He has at least 2.
He has 3. I believe he has 3.
He probably has 3. Yeah. All right. So Chris can tie him here because he's won twice, and Corby can get up to 2 as well. So. It'll be an exciting look, or maybe that won't happen because fantasy football is a cruel mistress.
Has anyone
well done to both teams.
Has anyone not won the league at all?
Lots of people.
We can go once we see all of the teams listed. We can talk about that.
Okay.
Something else I want to mention. Kyle Pitts on my bench is 0 points.
Well done. I went with the Scoon
against my better judgment. I sat my baby boy and I mean, it netted 8 points. Pat Frymuth, who I dropped a few weeks ago, had a great week. Maybe would have led me to victory, but I don't want to deal with that.
I like to see a Patriot on a winning team. Never thought I'd see a Patriot on a fantasy team that actually wins a game.
Yeah.
And another is what was I gonna say about Terry McLaurin. Luca went over how both first place teams. In Discord, I have Terry McLaurin. He is he's frustrating, kind of. I know he just had a good week before this, but his targets are always low, and it just feels like boom bust, but he usually booms. But it's just wasn't
last week not going to be a great week until the 80-yard Like,
Yeah,
this
he
veteran,
caught
like,
he caught an 80-yard touchdown with like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He
yeah.
was having an awful week.
Right. But like I feel like I definitely said him a few times, but I look at his his production
He's
this year.
fucking amazing.
He's incredible. Like I like
He's incredible.
One of
it
my
just-
one of my regrets this year in one of my other leagues, when I have Tyreek Hill, who, but like I was always just hopeful he would pick it back up, and someone offered me Terry McLaurin for Tyreek, and in hindsight, I wish I took that. Like,
Right, but like that's such like who's taking that? Like that's I don't think that's one of those ones you can beat yourself up over. But I get it, like, but that's only hindsight,
Yeah.
Like that'd be a silly trade in the moment.
Yeah, brutal.
But I get you.
So yeah, Chris is first. I'm second. That's the way it is. Oh, hold on one moment. We know what's happening here. On this week's episode of The Clown Show, we've got Eric scoring over 100 points, thank goodness. We've also got Adam scoring 122 points to beat Eric. Now, of course, this matchup doesn't mean anything in terms of playoffs or standings or yes, standings, yes. This matters for the integrity of the league and your rankings about men among boys. And so every win matters, in my opinion, still. So Adam pulls off the victory here, which is great. He's still in 12th place at this point? We'll find out shortly. Eric's is still on his downward skid. There's not really much to say at this point. Like this, again, these don't really matter for playoffs. I'll just shout out a few people, I suppose. Marcus Valdes-Scantling is still on a tear. Derrick Henry is being wasted on this team. Trevor Lawrence got fucked up this weekend. And Adam's team is those are Adam's guys. And that's all I got to say. I don't know.
Yeah, this is a tough one to say much about. It's just, this is a big stinky toilet bowl here. Are these the two lowest scores? Oh no, Tyler was just a little below Adam. Yeah, it must be nice would have been nice to play either one of these guys, but I'll stop saying that shit. Adam or Eric, Eric is really, it's just like the last what is it? It's got to be like about 7 weeks now. Thinking back to Peaky Finders, it's just been so brutal, just like unbearably brutal. I think a big thing that hurt him this year would have got him a lot more points is if he had Jordan Love and Jaden Reed. He probably would have got like 20 more points here. But that's the name of the game. I'm glad Geno Smith's off my team, even if I'm not on playoffs anymore. And Adam, your guys, your Chiefs didn't do very good, but they did just enough to win you a game. Good job. This game doesn't mean anything, but I'm proud of you for the Yahoo rating, Adam.
So yeah, I texted Corby about this matchup like mid last week after he sent me the lineups. I was like, how many points does Adam have? Because I saw like all of his players had already played, and he had 70 with 4 people left. I was like, okay, Adam's gonna lose this week. But I didn't realize he was playing Eric, and Eric's team is really bad, and I know this. And if I knew that was the matchup, I would not have bet on Adam losing.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was going to say something I'd like to try for maybe next season or something with these slides is we're definitely missing the full context of like this whole team. We need to see the benches on. We need to somehow fit these benches on here.
Right.
Because I really want to see the absolute dog shit that's on Eric's bench right now.
Well, so Eric has Adam Thielen, who had 24 points. He's got Zach Charbonnet with 12.1. Antonio Gibson's got 14.2. He's got players who could have won him this game. Adam also has Aiden O'Connell in there and Xavier Worthy, who had decent games. Not that he really needed them. AOC outscored both of his quarterbacks, but whatever.
I do think Amari Cooper should have gotten at least a couple points for that lateral to
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What did he get, a passing and a receiving?
Yeah, he got a passing and a receiving touchdown in a single play.
Well done.
And Amari Cooper gets like 4 yards of receiving.
So I'm reading the show notes here, and Fitzy put a little anecdote in this matchup. By the way, me and Colin picked Adam. Fitzy and the coin picked Eric. Fitzy says, did you know that Patrick Mahomes has never won an NFL game on a Friday? Well, that changed this week.
How many Fridays has he played?
I don't know.
Is that like his first Friday game?
Maybe so. The Kansas City Chiefs will find a way. Speaking of finding a way, Chris Colby in a cousin bowl versus Mike Colby pulls off a pretty astounding victory, winning 174 to 128. I picked Chris. Everybody else picks Mike here. We haven't talked about the pick'em at all, but I mean, honestly, none of you care except for like 3 of us. So let's break it down. So Chris wins, but at what cost, right? So he's already down Dobbins. Now McCaffrey's gone. His RB1 is now Rico Dowdle, which is maybe not a bad thing. Like he's had a nice few weeks put together. He's still starting Quentin Johnson. He put Nick Westbrook-Akine finally in the lineup, which
Hell
is
yeah.
21 points. Mark Andrews, he's back. He's him. Josh Allen has that week that Chris alluded to a few weeks ago. Had that really good quarterback week. Love to see it. Mike just kind of misses with some of his guys. He's stank smell. You know that it's tough when you're starting stank smell. Cole Kmet is still your tight end. Absolutely sickening. Debo is done. He just is gassed, done. That team is collapsing. Mooney has a pretty bad week here comparative to what he's had before, and Saquon didn't score 50 points. So that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, the second chart I kind of should have made and wanted to make was the teams I played in the week after, because obviously Mike scored like 170 against me last week. He puts up 128. I'm gonna do it about me because like this is it. This is my tour. This is bullshit. 128. And the thing is if Mike won here, I could still make playoffs right now, because then Chris could have lost this week and I would be in playoffs if I won. So you know, whatever. It's a good job, Chris. Oh, his RB2 is he only has one other running back besides Dowdle and McCaffrey on his roster, and it's Travis Etienne. So that'll be your RB2 from now.
I was gonna ask about his running back situation because
yeah, and then
it sounds like he's not getting the backup for San Francisco.
Yeah,
he has zero fab, as we'll dive into in a moment. Travis Etienne.
What the fuck is that smell?
For real.
Yeah, he's
so
bad. Stinky man.
I hate him. I'm in a keeper league with Adam. I took him in the first round. He's my first round pick. It was absolutely disgusting, horrible. I might make playoffs. Doesn't matter. Anyways, we don't talk about that league. Adam, what do you Luke?
So you're already like I'm already in his place. Like,
there's already the web is being woven between you and Adam.
Nothing really to add. I just also like to add that I like to see Mike lose, so I'm happy he lost. My goal is just to make enemies.
If you make enough enemies, people will want you in this league.
Yeah, so they can crush me. Mm-hmm.
So we can beat you. Final matchup, maybe the least important matchup of all time, is Fitzy versus Taylor, where me and Colin picked Taylor here because we expected a spike week where he scored 200 points. Fitzy picked Fitzy, and he puts in the show notes, "I am shocked" in all caps. But maybe he's shocked that he's picking himself, or he's shocked that we picked Taylor.
Definitely the second one.
Oh my God! Speaking of, what the fuck? 1 second. Speaking of the devil.
No way, is Fitzy coming in? Fitzy, great timing.
Perfect timing. We're talking about your matchup.
There's no time. She's barely calm.
Eva.
I need to tell you about the standings this year. Oh no, the pacifier's out.
Okay. Let's skip over the matchup and just go to the standings.
No, it's okay. I can talk about Sam Laporta.
Can you break out your
he has uncursed me here? Basically, you don't see the bench here, right? The bench tells you the story. I could not have made a bad decision to lose this matchup. That's really all this one comes down to. I'm happy to be, in a matchup that really meant nothing other than Yahoo points to try to keep myself. What this really comes down to is ahead of Taylor in Yahoo points. I am now, after last week, bronze, fighting for my own place in silver. I'm excited to see. I want to see a bet later about who's going to finish the year with more Yahoo points, me or Brandy. I think that's going to be a really close race. That's all I got.
Wait, Fitzy, one thing real quick. I'm sorry. Can you tell me about your 4 tight end flex in a Discord league?
Okay. So honestly, on that one, I knew it wasn't the most optimal play, I was looking at it, and I did have 3 tight ends in, and I thought it's not that much worse if I put the 4th in. This should be the coolest flex team of all time. I'm glad someone noticed, honestly.
If you tune into the pod later this week, there's a deep dive into a certain web.
Oh, good.
It's got its own
I was
slide.
hoping for the swaggiest strat of all time. I want you to know that was a conscious decision.
Did you win?
It's like, I think this is how I'm going to get the most points. This is how I'm going to humiliate my opponent the most.
Did you win or no?
I got to double check. Hold on.
I don't think you did.
It doesn't seem like something I would do.
I think you would have locked playoffs if you won, but you chose to start 4 tight ends.
I lost 115 to 147. And yeah, hold on. I chose to start 4 tight ends. Brock Purdy put up 2 points. Cuba Hubbard put up 2 points. And one of my tight ends put up 30. That, of course, being Brock Bowers. My decision was going to be between, do I put Jalen Waddle in ahead of one of those tight ends? Do I put Javonte Williams in ahead of one of those tight ends? The one tight end that would have sat would have been Evan Ingram. He scored more than he was right in line. He technically was 0.2 less than Waddle. So I regret nothing other than missing the playoffs with an empty bench spot. That's the part of that matchup that I regret. But I mentioned it earlier. I'm a father, and I'm not paying as much attention to fantasy football era. Prepare to see me finish bronze this year.
And maybe next year.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe if you're still a father. I'm just kidding. You'll probably still be a father. Where's the baby gonna
right here? You can't say
Oh my god. Hey,
Maybe you'll be a mother.
what's up, motherfucker?
That's it. Dude.
Listener, first time caller here.
Damn, look at her go. She's fucking sucking on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
No, you can
That's
blur
sick.
that, right? She's not supposed to be on the internet, I guess.
We could probably figure something out, yeah.
All right.
Anyways, these are the standings. Fitzy, I'm sure you're on borrowed time because you just crashed this. So please, let's hear about it.
My quick segment here, and I want you to talk about it in greater detail after I get out of here. But look at this. We are locked for the playoffs. 6 teams in and 6 teams out. I had to ask myself, has this ever happened before? I assume that basically I was playing this through in my head like an hour ago. Oh man, they're recording tonight. Someone's going to ask this, and I'm going to have to deep dive it and put it in the comments. I don't want to put it in the comments. I want to show you all the beautiful data that we have. So has this ever happened before? I'm sharing my entire screen right now. So we've got a bit of color coding here as I go backwards in time. You're going to see red for teams that are out of the playoffs, yellow for teams that are, for the most part, it looks like this year I might have messed it up, in the playoffs right now, but could get knocked out. And you'll see orange is for teams that are on the outside looking in, but still have a chance. So every time you see yellow and orange, these are the teams that are fighting for a playoff spot in the second to last week of the year. So this in 2023 would have been week 13. Prior to that, week 12. In 2023, we had a famously tight race with too many, Colin, I'm sure you used the word permutations already on this pod. The number of permutations was off the charts even with 1 week to go because even the first place team technically could have been knocked out if one of these teams here won while he lost against them by like 200. Technically, it could have happened. So very intense, very tight in 2023. What about the years before that? Well, 2022 was a somewhat regular looking year here, where we had a 7-6 team in Corby looking pretty good, and then a whole lot of muck that could have snuck into the playoffs depending on how that week went. I'm just going to go kind of rapid fire here so we can see, have we ever had another year where it was all green and all red? 2021 was not such a year where we had Tyler, Chris Colby, Fitzy, Taylor, and Chris Cloud all fighting to get in the last week. 2020, COVID year, we had a couple teams on the inside looking out. And this, Taylor was not supposed to color him red. We had a couple teams that could have made it in. 2019, only 2 had locked it up. 2018, 4 of us had. 2017, Chris P, only 1 team had locked it up, as opposed to this year 6 out of 6.
Wow.
Go ahead.
I said, wow.
Yeah.
No one's look at that one. Look at all the 7 and 5
Damn.
teams.
All these 7 and 5s just flooded up in the middle here.
That's crazy.
Adam's team was named 8th place. This is the name of the team at the time, not how we finished the year. I don't remember what Adam did here, but he named himself 8th place. We have Chris Clout. Some great team names in here. The Boise Boulders, the 49ers. Taylor was just plain good. It's so strange to see Taylor with a team name that's not either ACLV2 or whatever it is right now. Colin, of course, the famous Berries and Cream year, and Tyler inspiring Taylor with ACL.
What's she doing?
We got a pacifier out.
Good.
We're in. 2016. 5 teams had locked it up.
Oh,
This one's almost a technicality, but it really could have happened here. Adam, the Heartbreakers, trying to beat out Tyler and Larry. All he had to do was get a win while Tyler lost because of that points for spread. 2015, we're now really getting back here. Only one team was eliminated. We're a whole lot of 6 and 6, and one Taylor team, Badonka Gronk. The rare time where we see Taylor with the points for advantage and the worst record. Remember that for a quick second here. Because here we've got Taylor holding on for dear life as the last team in. 5 had locked up a place here in 2014. Taylor, 200 points for less than Eric, who was trying to get in at 4 and 8.
Great name, Eric. Great name.
oh my God.
Great team names all over the place here because, of course, the inspirations, you might remember Taylor had that blind kid who was playing football as his team picture. Really one of my favorite team name and picture combinations we've ever had. The inspirations really is an inspiration. And then finally, 2013, we do it. The only other year where we have gone into week 13/14, in the extended era here, where we know exactly what the picture for the playoffs is going to be. Where we had Tyler, Mike, Colin, and Chris all on the inside, Eric, Corby, myself, and Steven all on the outs.
Steven was on the outs? That's not like him.
Yeah, Luke, I'm sure you've listened to the podcast. I don't like to bring this one up. Look at this. Steven was about 400 points for less than the second to last place.
Mm-hmm.
His only win in the entirety of our league history is against me.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I had here. A quick little bit of history. We're here in our 12th year. I mentioned this at the start of the year on the pod. 12 years in, we've got 12 teams now. If you're not winning a championship this year, you are now going to be statistically a loser. I'm interested to see what happens to Chris Colby, Mike as well. Teams of Destiny faced off last week. I'm sure you had a lot to say about that one. And I've got to go. So thank you everyone for my TED Talk.
Bye.
I can't wait to listen to the pod and comment a bunch of stuff next week.
Thanks for
Yay.
stopping by.
You want to say bye?
Bye. Oh, she looks so
Bye,
happy. She's so-
Bye.
Anyways,
Wait, 1 sec. Did you tell him when like?
No.
You didn't know that?
Oh,
no,
really?
he just came on.
His timing was just that impeccable.
Literally perfect timing.
Incredible.
God amongst men.
Of course, because he's 50. He's always perfect at everything.
Oh, shit.
Anyways. Oh, fuck. Fitzy changed his name. I didn't even change the slides. Shit. Okay, so thanks, Fitzy, for stopping by. So, as he alluded to, we've got 6 teams locked in. We don't care about that. Let's talk about the teams that have never won the league. Taylor has never won the league. Eric has won. Fitzy has won twice. Fitzy has won twice. This is Adam. Adam has won 3 times. Colin has won the first year, and then never again. Correct?
Yes, that felt targeted though.
Tyler won the second year, and then never again. Chris Colby has never won. Chris Cloud has never won. Mike has never won. Brandy has never won. Brandy's the newest member. I won the 3rd year and then never again. And then Chris Patnote has won twice. So that's the winner's circle for the league. Yep. I always joke that, or we always joke that whoever comes in last needs to leave the league for a year and earn their way back in.
Well,
And then-
we've tooled with the idea of the Discord League being the relegation league, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. There's just too much overlap, though.
yeah, that's a bit. Well, we could like
Yeah.
make the Discord League like 6 teams or like 4 teams
Yeah.
or something, and just. But no, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
if we
I'd
did
be
that,
down. I'd be down.
yeah, but we would need to start like 20 players each. We'd have like 500
Oh,
points
just
every-
massively extend the rosters.
like huge rosters. If it's like 6 people, like a 50 round draft or something.
That'd be
Probably not 50.
still
60.
auction.
Auction, yeah,
It doesn't have to be auction.
The longest draft ever.
that'd be snake. But yeah, and then as far as the playoffs go, this is how it currently sits right now. We have Mike versus Chris Cloud in the quarterfinals. Winner of that would go against Chris Colby or Chris Patnode, and then the winner of Brandy and Chris Colby, Chris Colby would play me. I feel like this will probably change after these matchups coming up, but we'll find out later. This is something that this was meant to be for your segment, but we already did that segment. So thanks, Luke. Let's move on to Transaction Watch. Colin, this is all you have. This is all we have for transactions.
Yeah, so this was a pretty thin week. There was really, only 2 contended fab moves, and then one other fab move in general that nobody contended, which was Eric with Adam Thielen, who had a great week and he did not start him. Xavier Leggett, Mike didn't start him, and he had, I think he had like 9 points or whatever. And the Dallas defense, who I don't remember. So here it is. Nothing, no league shaking here. Good get for Eric though, even if he's on his bench. Other than that, pretty minor stuff going on here.
Do you think $21 for Xavier Leggett is good?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, like, who are you gonna? I mean, I guess you could wait, I guess, to see who gets hurt later on. But like, whatever. Like, I don't know. At this point, like, he's like, I don't. I guess I don't know. What is he even in Carolina now? I don't know. The wide receiver 2 or 3 or something. Yeah. Who cares? He's a rookie. Maybe he'll finish strong. You never know. It's fine. I dropped him.
Yeah. That's transactions. Let's move on to name change breakdown. So this is not a name change per se, but I did notice that Chris changed his team name after he beat me, and I get it, but also like kind of sneaky. I mean, listen, he deserves it. Like, he can change the team name, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But for that reason, it's not a team name. It's not it's Zero Booms actually.
Wait, so did he change the name or just the picture?
He just changed the photo.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to highlight the fact that he changed his photo
Yeah.
for the first time this season. Now Rodgers is smiling instead of being all fucked up looking.
I think he earned it. I like it. I think he deserves it. He's happy now. He's had a good team. Good
I'd probably
job.
be salty if the Broncos lost that game last night, especially to Jerry Jeudy.
Here we go.
Little penis, short and stout. This is I mean, this harkens back to last year where everyone's team names were about balls, dick, and cum and shit.
I
so I
remember
like
that episode.
Yeah, I like the throwback of it all. It's great. The photo is.
What is it?
Is it Cracker Jacks or like what is it? I don't know what it
Popcorn,
is.
man.
Is it like a play on I'm a little teapot?
Right, but what's the picture? It looks like a popcorn.
It does kind of look like.
Or like Cracker Jacks, like you
Yeah,
said. Like, what is that?
Sexy
Not a teapot.
Sexy
might be-
Cracker Jacks?
He does look like he's doing the teapot pose, but like, what is? I don't know.
In any sense, this is a 5 boomer, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
How could you not? Little
my God.
penis out. It's great.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a great name. What do you think, Luke? 5 booms?
Oh, 5 booms for sure.
5
I
booms.
feel like Chris doesn't usually miss.
Yeah, excellent. He doesn't miss. Brandy, new team name, John New World Order. Any fans of wrestling on this podcast right now?
I've only watched it the one time I've been at your house.
Colin, wrestling.
No, but I mean, New World Order is pretty. I feel like there's like a band, New World Order. It's also like a conspiracy theory, the New World Order. So that's a pretty universal thing. The photo, I guess that doesn't relate to the picture though. I don't know the picture.
Yeah. So to give you some context, back in the late '90s, there was a faction in WCW called New World Order that was started by Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. They were originally called the Outlaws, and they basically showed up to WCW and pretended to be like they were just like showing up with no contract and stuff, and they were talking about starting and changing the world and all this shit. And then at the time, Hulk Hogan is a huge face in the company, and like he's the ultimate good guy. He's really tan, he's racist, and then he turns heel and joins the New World Order, which is like one of the craziest moments in wrestling history, one of the greatest face or heel turns of all time. As much as I hate Hulk Hogan, but this is obviously a play on that faction of the New World Order. So New World Order. Love it. New photo is huge, really beautiful, well crafted. On Hulk Hogan's body, you can see his little hairs behind his head.
It's good work.
You always love a black man on a white man's body. It's great. I'm absolutely 5 boomers. Now, obviously, the context in which the New World Order goes through in WCW is really sour. Basically, what happens in WCW is that they start booking the show really poorly. Everyone is like, there's like 50 people in this faction at this point. There used to be like 3, and now there's like 50, and it all just gets all fucked up. Watch the rise and fall of WCW if you're ever interested. It's actually very fascinating stuff. What do you guys think? Wrestling you're in, right?
Wrestling is so cool.
Is that also Janu or?
That is John. It's both Janu.
Oh, okay. Wrestling? Yeah, sure. I saw Peanut Butter Falcon the other day. You know that movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched that. That was cool. That's my opinion on wrestling.
Starring Shia LaBeouf and that other guy.
Shia LaBeouf and Dakota Johnson. Shout out to Madam Web.
Shout out to
And
Dakota.
it's all connected like a web.
We're all connected
She's
here.
the same character in that movie, by the way, Madam Web.
Let's move on to Mike. Mike begins the week with no Dobbins, with the Mega Mind, kind of poking the bear a little bit, and then he turns into ... the Team of Destiny, which we'll get into in very momentarily. With a photo of Cell getting obliterated, which is just great moment in Dragon Ball Z, great moment in that show. I really yeah, that's the right word, right? I amend Mike for commend. Sorry, Jesus,
Yeah.
where the hell am I tonight? I commend Mike for the switch and taking his loss on the chin. I appreciate it. I appreciate the lore of Chris trying to be the Team of Destiny. With that in mind, I don't think Chris is the Team of Destiny. I'm giving this 3 booms.
What's the Megamind meme? What is it usually? Like, what is it? I don't know. I don't know this meme, I think.
I don't know what it is either.
Okay.
I do like that he left the bottom half of the template in there where it just says bottom text.
Well, I'm assuming that's part of the meme, but maybe not. I don't know.
No, I think that's just like on meme generator because there's top text, bottom text, and he just didn't delete bottom text.
I guess. All right.
I want you to know that Mike is in the comments right now, typing furiously and correcting Luke. I'm sure it's part of this.
I think it's part of the meme, but who knows?
Mike's wrong. He doesn't know anything.
Corby, I like that you recognize that as Sal getting obliterated. That's a good. You got good recognition skills. Yeah, I mean it's. I don't know what. He's not a. Why is he? I don't know. Is that also a Dragon Ball thing? Like, why is he labeling himself a Team of Destiny? I don't know what the. I feel like the Team of Destiny is the one that like wins despite itself, like a Brandy or a Taylor. Like that's a Team of Destiny to me, or a Chris Colby. But Mike's got actually good team, so I don't think you're a Team of Destiny. But if you win all the way, I guess it's justified.
I think he's referring to the fact that Chris Colby, I think, has been labeled the Team of Destiny at times.
Oh, is it like a snarky thing?
He's like, the Team of Destiny! And he's like dying, screaming his name or something. I don't know.
All right. Well, Mike will let us know.
Let us know, Mike. Love the team name. It's good. Oh shit. That was all we have. I mean, somebody changed their name at this point, but I'm not going back and doing
We'll
that.
go over it next week.
We'll go in. Stay tuned for next
We'll get into it
time
next week.
on Yahoo name change of the week. This is Yahoo comments of the week. Already used that one. I've only got a few here, but Luke Schoonmaker, Brandon chimed in 30 minutes before kickoff and said, "Make me proud, son." With Colin, I sent this in a text message. Colin highlighted to me. I didn't even realize this when I sent the photo. That profile picture is fucking incredible.
What is that, Aaron Rodgers again?
That is Aaron Rodgers.
Pictures Chris uses.
That guy's got an unfortunate face.
And he's got like what? He's like in the background's like explosions or something.
Yeah, looks like an explosion, and then it looks like he's got like a cigarette or a joint in his mouth or
Yeah, he's
something.
got like a cigarette.
Fucking incredible.
That's sick. At least he's Luke Schoonmaker's dad, I guess. All right.
Brandon Schoonmaker.
Schoon Senior.
Hey, is Luke? You like him? You like Luke Schoonmaker? Luke, he's got your name.
I love anyone with the name Luke.
Oh, yeah.
There's never been a bad Luke in history. You can quote me on that.
What about Luke Wilson?
He's awesome.
Luke Skywalker. How many times in school were you called Luke Skywalker?
I got a lot of Luke, I am your father, like
Oh,
quotes at me. Which, you know, if you watch the movie, that's not even like the quote. So
Right.
idiots, nerds.
Stupid idiots.
Kyle Pitts. Again, these were two very personal ones, and I know they're tight end focused, but let's focus on the one on the right first. The one on the left is the one I like better. So Jack said creamy diarrhea on the right, and on the left, it's 8:30 at night. Let's remember, Kyle Pitts has already played. He's got 0 points. What time does he play?
That's fucking hilarious. Did you have a 1 o'clock game?
Yeah, I believe he had a 1 o'clock game.
Fucking funny.
That's so fucking funny, dude. I was crying. And of course, I had to dive into some weird shit and find some weird controversial ones. So I went to DeMarcus Robinson, who was very recently arrested for a DUI. And so I got 2 here. I've got No saying DUI lives matter, and then Jack saying, "Is this the same?"
Right, it's Jack.
It might be the
He's
same Jack.
prolific.
He's everywhere.
Jack said, "Bro, needs a couple of beers after this game. I think he deserves it." Yeah, he was he was under the influence, driving 100 miles per hour,
That's sick, honestly.
and that was before this game. Well, not like on the way to the game, but like this was the weekend before. I was wondering how he was even allowed to play. It just seems weird. I don't know. I don't know the rules. And I don't know the laws.
Right.
What I do know is we have a week to go over, and that would be week 14. Oh God! Like, who gives a shit about this? It's me versus Eric. I think the reality is that Trevor Lawrence is projected for 13 points. Eric is projected for 92 points. It's going to be zeroed out for Trevor Lawrence very shortly. I'm going to set my lineup because I want to be 11-3. Because why not? Doesn't really matter what I do. I just want to beat Eric. I just want to kick him while he's down, and I want to give him a nice curb stomp. I guess with that in mind, I have to pick. I have to get things ready. What the hell's the chip? I'm gonna pick myself here because I'm coming off of my first loss in 10 weeks, and I need a bounce back game. I think Eric can provide that for me.
Yeah, there's not a lot to say. He's Eric. He hasn't set his lineup yet. He's got Derrick Henry on bye, so who's he gonna plug in? He's going to plug in either Cam Akers or Zach Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet, I think, just did have a solid week, but the 2 weeks before that, he scored 2.2 and 2.5. So it's going to be Cam Akers or Zach Charbonnet right there in the running back 2 spot. That'll be exciting to see. I'm going to take Corby. There's not much that needs to be said. Eric's team, very bad. Corby's team, very good.
I will also be picking Corby. I think 19% is generous for the odds.
Fitzy already put his picks in, so I'll read them on air. Fitzy picks Corby. We're dealing with a pissed off Corby and a lethargic Eric. With all that in mind, welcome back the Chip, who will. The marked side of the chip is the heads, which is the first team. Is the team on the left. I'm just explaining this for the viewers at home, a little behind the scenes action. And the coin is picking me. I'm gonna roll a d6 as well to see what the lock-in of the week. Lock-in of the week is next week. Is this next matchup? Colin, come on, you lead us off here. I'm sure this is really hitting home for you.
I'm taking Brandy.
You what?
Are you serious?
Yeah, lock of the week. I'm locking it down. Fuck this game. Locking down Brandy for the first time in pod history. I'm not picking myself.
Wow, that is the first time, huh? Holy shit. I mean, I'm gonna pick you, Colin, because I think you're gonna win. Because Brandy's in
Wrong
dire
move.
straits on buys. And what?
Wrong move there.
Wrong move.
Right there. Have you seen my past 5 weeks and Brandy's past 5 weeks? This is a loss.
Imagine you score like the highest score in like league history this week. I'm picking Colin because I just think Brandy's in need for some roster help, and I think that moves will be made, but I just don't know how it's going to work this week. We'll see how it works next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Colin as well. Did you just get hit hard with bye weeks this week? I'm assuming.
Brandy did, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no Jonathan Taylor, no Nico Collins. Still starting Kirk Cousins for some reason. Hasn't thrown a touchdown in like 3 weeks.
Well, it's him or Will Levis.
Sure.
I guess Will Levis has been okay, right?
Will Levis, sneaky good stretch down the line.
I have to start him.
I'd be willing to make a bet about Will Levis later on in the show. Let me try to actually flip this coin. And the coin has picked Colin as its lock of the week. And Fitzy picks Colin, who should be able to handle 4 RBs who are second on their own team. And we'll see about that.
Wrong.
First play of the game, James Cook is going down. Ray Davis is going fucking beast mode. I mean, this doesn't really matter. I mean, none of these matches really matter at this point, except for Yahoo points, and I guess seeding can probably change. So it'll change who plays next week, and then whoever plays the 2 bye team weeks. So in the battle of Chris versus Chris, in our final Chris Bowl, potentially final Chris Bowl of the season, because we could have one in the championship. Have we ever had a Chris Bowl championship? Fitzy, let us know in the comments below. It's looking like Chris Cloud is going to be 1 QB once again for like the 4th time this season, unless he has someone else.
He's got Brock on his bench.
Is Brock gonna play though?
Purdy? I don't know. He played last week. He wasn't on the injury report.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah,
he did play.
I know you might not think so because he only had 2 points.
Yeah.
This is snow. Was this snow?
It was a snow.
Yeah, it was stuff. Yeah. But also, like, just bad. I mean,
I feel like they probably should have not played him that week.
Yeah, I mean, who they play Buffalo, right? Josh Allen did great.
Yeah,
so, no excuse.
I guess this really boils down to I think that there's been we have to check the record on the number of times Ricky Pearsall has been started in which Chris Cloud has won. We also need to check how many times Ricky Pearsall has been started and gotten 0 points and Chris Cloud has won. So I think with all this, just once, just the one time.
At least one, I said.
Well, that's really going to weigh me down on my decision here. I'm going to take Chris Colby because I think that he's just got a better chance to win, I suppose. So I'll just take Chris Colby.
It's good logic right there. I'm also going to take Chris Colby because Chris Cloud just played me. He put one up 166, so now he's probably going to put up like 80 points. So give me Chris Colby for sure. This does kind of matter. It depends how Mike and Brandy's games go, because like you said, like all that matters here is seeding, because they're the 5th and 6th place and they have the same record. So whoever wins will be the 5th seed, whoever loses will be the 6th seed, and then so that'll determine who plays Mike or Brandy. Obviously, I mean, I guess maybe not obviously, but personally, I'd want to play Brandy. So that this could be big, but it's just we don't know whether like like if losing would mean play Brandy, like I would probably just take all my players out. Like I'd rather you know what I mean. I'll take the loss.
You're saying Brandy's gonna not be good next week.
I mean, in terms, I think she'll be better than, or I think Mike will be better. That's all I think. Brandy might be good. I just think Mike will be better. I think Mike's team is better, so I'd rather play Brandy. So if I knew who I was playing next week, but I don't know the matchup's good enough to know if it's gonna be a definite win. But all I'm saying is this matchup does matter. But I'm gonna take Chris Colby. I think he'll win. Yeah.
Is Chris Cloud locked in the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay, then I picked Chris Colby because I don't think Chris Cloud is going to set his lineup.
Fair enough. That is a good assessment. I mean, he's already locked in, so why do it? And the coin is going to go contrarian and pick Chris Cloud. Oh my! Look at this projection. Good lord. So it's Taylor versus Chris Patnode, and it's really pretty much the same song and dance with me versus Eric. There's not much to say. Is Taylor going to set his lineup? I hope so. I don't think it really matters. Maybe by some miracle, Taylor. Well, all right. Think of this scenario. Taylor has this crazy blow up 200-point week. I win. Chris Colby loses, and I get first seed again. This is something that could happen, actually. So for that reason, I'm definitely picking Taylor.
All right, I love it. I think ever since he put 200 on me, I think I've picked him like 3 weeks in a row. Since then, he's just had terrible scores. He's not, because that 1 week makes me think, or maybe we talked about it as him being like super volatile. He's not. He's a terrible team. I don't think he's ever, decent 3 week stretch. He's not been spiky this year. He just had that one spike. We're like, oh, he could go 200 any week. No, it was that 1 week against me. It's gonna be Chris here. I like you falling on the sword there, but he lives with Cash, right? They live together.
Yeah.
I feel like Tyler, like as commissioner, kind of has an obligation to not make him, but at least like remind him or tell him. It's not a good look for the league. I know that when I played him, he didn't set his lineup till it was like the day before games. And I was like, oh my God, is he not going to set his lineup? I have a feeling someone reminded him, and it might have been Cash. He would have beat me anyway, probably, but I just think he will set his lineup. But I think Chris will win anyway.
Okay. I was going to pick against Chris because he took Demario Douglas out, but then I realized he's on bye this week, so I'll give him a pass, and I will pick Chris.
I need to do a little bit of a little cleanup here. So in the last match will be a Colby versus Cloud. I want to say, for the record, Fitzy picked Chris Colby, and this is the anecdote, who simply will not stand to finish the year at 7-7. His destiny is to be a winning team who loses to Mike in the championship. Wow. Cold on Fitzy. Fitzy is going to take Chris here as well. He's going to take Chris B because we're dealing with a checked out Taylor, which is very funny. Oh, fuck, I dropped the chip, and the chip is going. Oh boy, the chip is going with Taylor. I love it.
Taylor doesn't really have any substitutes on his bench, does he, right?
No, because he doesn't make moves, so he does.
Yeah, he's got that $100 of fab left.
He's got the guys to be drafted, which is,
Oh man, he could blow the whole load on Garenda and be set for.
He still has Tyler Boyd is still there. Michael Wilson, he's got some good players there. Huh? Greg Dortch.
Michael Wilson, my God. Yeah, you want to take us through this one, Colin?
So this is a match between Tyler, my comrade in arms, right next to me in the standings there, and right next to me in points, 3rd and 4th, and 7th and 8th in the standings. against Adam, who is in 10th place and deserves it. Uh, so, as I said, Tyler's my comrade in arms. We are in this together and being, just absolutely unjust, being gate kept out of the playoffs. So obviously I'm taking Adam because the universe has made up its mind and it's against us. So I will take Adam. He's going to crush Tyler for no other reason than that.
Dude, you love talking about yourself.
Yeah, it's historic. It's unprecedented.
Yeah, I think Tyler's gonna have a crazy week this week. I'm picking Tyler as my lock of the week. There's no way he can like Adam has not scored like, well, I guess a few weeks ago he scored like 150, right? He scored 119 last week. Chargers, he's playing the Chiefs are playing the Chargers. Chargers have a good defense. It's a good blow up spot in my opinion for Tyler. Fitzy's picking Adam, and he says this was the lock of the week contention based on Adam's team name. In a week, that means nothing.
I am also picking Tyler, mainly because this is going to solidify that Adam should be kicked out of the league and it should be me in there.
The coin is also rowing with Tyler. Final matchup of the week. This feels like a grudge matchup, and I'm gonna read Fitzy's pick first. I'm not gonna bury the lead here. Fitzy. Oh, sorry, I forgot to hit the button for my lock of the week. That's my lock of the week. So in the battle of Mike versus Fitzy, Fitzy is picking Fitzy, and he says, "And cancel your bets. It's lock of the week time. Ring the bell because it's Mike's year, but for the final time this year, not his week." So Fitzy's locking in himself, and I kind of like the move. I know that Fitzy's definitely going to set his lineup this week. Oh, well, let's think about it, because Fitzy's got no second QB. Mike, does he have somebody else?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, so are we talking about a 1 QB a swag strat, Sam Darnold versus Tua?
He's got Drew Lock, but DeVito's probably playing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so. So, Mike, does Mike have the guts to just start one quarterback against Fitzy to even it? So let's say Drew Lock does play. What if Mike just played one quarterback? What if the world was made of pudding? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, bro.
That's where we're at in the season here. So yeah, I'm gonna take Fitzy here. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, Mike does. He only has one quarterback, but he also just hasn't set his lineup. I'm sure he'll at least put Drew Lock in there. And then he also has like Leggett, who can slot in for one of these wide receivers on bye. Other than that, it's going to probably be somebody he picks up, unless he wants to play like Tyler Lockett or Braylon Allen. So he'll probably make some move, pick somebody up. But that being said, should probably take Fitzy here. But I just don't really like his team. I'm going to take Mike. I think he'll subvert the expectations. And obviously, the projections are bad right now, but again, he puts in like one or two guys and he's going to be like near 120. So I don't think it's that far-fetched. Yeah, I'll take Mike.
Even though I think he's wrong all the time, I think I'm going to pick Mike as well.
And the chip is riding on Fitzy Express. Choo choo. I don't know why I hit that button again. That's matchups. That's week 14. That's the final week of the regular season of this fantasy football season. Thank God we don't have to talk about these meaningless matchups for the rest of the year. No dark and beautiful twisted fantasy this season. None of that shit from Fitzy, because he's a dad now. Let's move on to something more important, gambling. Just recap the bets that we made last week. We had Zach Ertz versus my tight end, which was Schoonmaker. Ertz took that one pretty handily. We made a bet that Fitzy will take Chris or Corby. I bet that he would take me, and Colin thought he would take Chris, and I was right. We also had Colin versus Chris Cloud. I hedged my bet, and Chris Cloud won.
Good job.
Colin versus Corby points. I won that one pretty handily. And then we also did a bet on the number of views that we had. Not only did we not have 54, over 54.5 views, we had like less than 30 views on last week. I chalk it up to the holiday vacation. I also chalk it up to people are just checked out and don't care about this part of the
Right.
season.
That was my bet, was that, like, a lot of people are out of the playoffs now, and it's like, like people don't even want to look at it. I don't think I watched it. Usually I at least like put it on, maybe to have it in the background just to, hear myself talk. But yeah, I didn't even.
I have never watched an episode of our show.
Yeah.
Not once.
But you'll watch this one, right?
Yeah, it's got Luke on it. You gotta watch this one.
I really thought I would entice people with the thumbnail last week of Killian Murphy with him pointing a gun at his head, and I thought that was a really good.
Oh, you know what? Maybe like it took it out of the algorithm because like YouTube's AI was like, "Oh, this is no good."
Oh my god, get over yourself. Let people shoot themselves.
Okay.
Anyways, who's got some bets? Let's hear them.
All right, Corby.
Talking and also from other stuff, but that's it.
Wait, what'd you say?
That's a cock joke. Anyways,
Okay.
let's hear it.
All right, I'm taking my cock out and I'm gonna challenge you, Corby. I'm guessing you're aware of this. We're playing each other in basketball. You're winning 6-3 right now. I'd like to just bet that I will beat you.
Yeah, no, not gonna happen. I'm gonna win.
You are? All right, I take back my bet. No, I'm joking.
I was just losing 3-6 this morning. I didn't realize the tables had already turned.
It's very. I mean, it's it's very close. But yeah.
Tuesday. Who gives a fuck?
Oh shit.
Luke, you got any bets?
Sure. So I was gonna do Luke McCaffrey bet, but he's on bye this week because
No.
Fitzy and I started at the beginning of the year at Luke McBet every week, but we kind of fell off. So instead we can do an L McBet, Lad McConkey bet. So he's right now averaging 4 receptions a game. So I would take that he is over 4.5 receptions this week.
Over 4.5.
Who are they playing? Do you know? Do you
Like
have
Kansas City.
The Chiefs.
Oh yeah, I'd hit the over too.
If you set the line at okay, so like week 12 he had 6. Last week he had 9. Week 11
I'm looking at this in reverse order.
Okay.
My bad.
I would probably
up it to
Okay,
so-
yeah. Where would you up it?
maybe the 5.5 or 6.5, either one. I would still take the over.
I would take the under at 6.5.
I'll still take the over, just for funds.
Let's go.
Lukey Luke. Despite me being in first place in Discord League somehow with a bad team, you have outscored me on the year, and you're already out of playoffs. You can't make playoffs.
Nope, there's still a chance.
Oh, is there 8 in the A League or something? Oh no, there's 6.
There's 6. I think if Fitzy loses, we're tied for
yeah, you're right,
record,
you're right,
and
you're
I'm
right.
only down by like 20 points.
Okay, you're correct. You could. I thought there was 6 asterisks there. No, there is 5. There is indeed 5. You can make playoffs. I want to bet that I will outscore you this week. You are projected 10 points above me right now, but I don't have a tight end. We'll have to wait till the waivers clear.
Yeah, I'll take that. So if we were playing each other, I would beat you. You would beat me.
Right. Yeah, just points. Who's going to score
Yep.
more points? Oh,
Yeah, I'll take that.
Sexy. Do you want to bet whether you'll make playoffs?
No, because there's too much that has to happen.
Right.
Yeah. I needed to win last week, and then I would take the bet, because then we would be tied at least. Fitzy updated his name in the Discord League too, by the way.
Like just now, or
Yeah, I think so.
what was he?
He was the enforcer, and now he's the ultimate swag strat.
He definitely just did that. He changed the picture.
Yeah, and it's a picture of Thanos and with the
The
gauntlet,
gauntlet.
and each stone is with the 4 tight ends he played.
That's funny. Yeah, it's hilarious.
I want to make a bet. So, Colin, you seem to think that it's going to be me versus Chris in the championship.
For sure.
If you had to pick another team, who would it be?
I guess Mike.
My pick would also
But
be
the thing is, I just feel like the chasm is so wide between like the two and then the rest. You know, like because Mike seems good, but I just feel like you know like you brought up like Debo's not really doing good. I feel like has Brees been not that good?
He's been like just very up and
yeah.
down.
Yeah, he's been really up and down. Okay. Well, I mean, in the past like 5 weeks, he's had had that 130-point game, and the rest is just like not good. So I just feel like his peak kind of hit. Tank Dell obviously is kind of entrenched in his starting lineup. Yeah, I guess it would be Mike, but like I don't think any of these teams are particularly like great the way you two guys are. But any given Sunday, obviously Chris just lost McCaffrey, Colby.
Yeah,
Chris
I was trying to come up with a bet, and I also kind of agree with you. And I think all these teams suck.
Do you want to just? Oh no, let's not make that bet this week. We'll wait till championship week. We'll make a bet about like the game or something.
Yeah.
That's how confident I am that you guys will make it. I will bet you that my running back 1 and 2, Mara and Cook will outscore whoever you slot in there. You know, right now you have Kyron and Bucky. You also have Chase Brown, but you know I know you don't want to start your late guys in the running back 1-2. But for this bet, maybe you should.
Oh, that's fucked up.
You're playing Eric. You're playing Eric.
You're right. I got some moves to make. Yeah, I would definitely take that bet. By the way.
All right.
Definitely in on that. I want to make another bet with you. I think that Jameis Winston will outscore both your quarterbacks.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Pittsburgh.
Cleveland and Detroit. Yeah, sure. Why not? One of them's gotta.
You guys want to make a bet on the box office for Craven?
Oh, that's a good one, dude.
Yeah.
When does that come out?
It's got to be soon if the Ravens are making ads for it.
December 13th. So we'll have to wait a few weeks for it to resolve.
Oh yeah.
So it has a budget of $130 million.
So just like final box office.
Like weekend box office.
Yeah. Are we doing worldwide or just US?
Are we doing opening weekend? Are we doing lifetime? Or are we? Yeah, like let's figure out a time span.
Okay, I know that it'll take the longest. I don't feel like this movie will be in theaters that long though.
Yeah, I think we should
do lifetime just because it's easy to digest.
I
don't know enough about like specific like weekend stuff and domestic versus like I'm not good at that stuff.
Okay.
But box office general is easier for me to just like rattle off or whatever. What have the other Spum movies grossed? What does Madam Web do?
100.5 million
against what? 100 million budget. Budget.
That's
budget was it 100? I thought it was 80.
Here's what Wikipedia says: 80 million net, 100 million gross. How does a budget have a net and a gross? What does that mean?
Yeah, that's weird. Do they get taxed on their budget? Wow,
no,
that's crazy.
That's Hollywood accounting,
Yeah, okay.
Do it.
So what did you say the budget for Craven was?
130 was it?
$30 million.
130, yeah.
So before we just yell out numbers, I liked what we did with Fitzy, where we wrote our estimation down. So if you have a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, you should do that. Otherwise, you can write it on your computer.
I'll put it on my phone.
Are we doing international or are we doing
just total? Just total.
Okay. Total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
And are we doing
I
mean, obviously not like I'm not gonna say $1, but are we doing under? You can't go over. Or are we just doing closest?
Closest to the
closest, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah, I am good as well.
All right, you guys want to do it on 3?
Well, we should. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's a tie. We can break it, but I'll start. I said 192 million.
Okay.
Uh,
Go ahead.
All right, I'll
Carl.
go next. I said 220 million.
Okay. I said 150 million.
Okay,
That's a good. That's good. Like we're all like 40 apart.
that's a good spread.
Yeah, good spread.
So Luke had 150, Corby 192, and Colin had 220. So check back later on Craven box office report.
Craven watch.
Craven watch. Yes. I know that I'll be doing a Craven watch.
What are you doing this?
Oh, I'm craving for some Craven. Am I right?
I don't even know anything about Craven.
He's a hunter.
Mhm.
Oh,
My biggest pet peeve with those films is they're supposed to be villains, but they try to make you like them.
Right, like the main antagonist is Rhino from like Spider-Man.
Mhm.
So it's like villain versus
Yeah, and then they're both supposed to be like teaming up with each other later on in like other movies.
that just sounds stupid.
Yeah, that's all of them. That's all Morbius and Madam Web.
Have you seen
So-
Morbius?
No, I haven't.
I have. I made the unfortunate choice to go as Morbius for Halloween one year to a vampire themed party, and no one got the reference.
It was like, was this after the movie came out?
Yes, yeah. I eventually convinced the host of the party to play the movie for everyone.
Oh no!
It's like, look, that's who I am.
And
You
then
guys
they
get
made
it
you
now? I
leave.
am a
They said
vampire.
leave.
That's incredible. I watched
He's
Morbius
in.
on my honeymoon.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was on Italian television, and then the next morning it was on again, so I put it on again.
He's in.
Reggie was like, "Turn that off now."
He's in Midnight Suns. I think he's a DLC character, and I feel like they did it as a tie-in for the movie because they came out around the same time. Just bad choice, bad association.
Do you think
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti is playing Rhino and Craven?
I mean, it's not like we don't have to guess. No, he's not. I've seen the trailer.
Ah.
so it's not.
Darn it! I was really hoping he was going to reprise his most famous role.
No, it's not a guy in a suit. It's like a guy with a skin
Yeah.
It's a skin condition.
It's just a really big man.
It's just a big guy with like I don't know. Yeah, he's got
The really
psoriasis.
Hard
or
skin
whatever.
tag.
Russell Crowe's in this movie. What the?
That's the other thing about Gladiator is, not only is like obviously, I mean, Russell Crowe's not in it, but they well, yeah, he's not in it. I don't know.
Of course, he's not in it.
What do you mean? Of course, Gladiator 2. He is in it in flashbacks. Yeah, I don't. Never mind. He could be in it. I mean, that could, as in, like,
Yeah.
they could have put him in it.
He
I
might
think-
be.
No spoilers. No, I saw it. It's
I
not
think
in it.
Russell Crowe plays Craven's like abusive father, so you sympathize him with the villain more.
Oh.
Yep.
Brother.
Do you like that better, or do you like Russell Crowe playing Zeus in the MCU more?
I like him playing Dr. Heckle and Mr. Hyde or whatever it is. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
In
What's-
the failure to launch Dooku, Dark Universe, Cinematic Universe with the Mummy and Tom Cruise's Mummy.
Oh, and like Invisible Man.
Yeah.
What do
Okay.
you think, Corby?
I don't know. I think that it's time to say our goodbyes here. Luke, again, thank you so much. Like, seriously.
Thank you for having me. Had a blast.
What a joy. We'll have to have you again. maybe as a guest, and also maybe as a co-host, and maybe as a league mate. Before we
Ooh.
go, we always like to let our guests do a shout out or a plug for whatever they're doing. So the floor is yours.
I'm not really doing anything. Just everyone go listen to Macaroni and Cheese by Young Posse.
What a great plug. Listen to Macaroni and Cheese by Great Posse.
Young
Oh, by Young Posse.
Posse. Great.
Is it
Great.
Posse or Posse, did you say?
I don't know. Posse. Posse?
Posse.
However the kids say it these days.
I thought it was French, maybe.
Well, thank you very much for that. Shouts out to macaroni and cheese. With that in mind, we close the book of bets. We say goodbye to Luke. We say our thank yous for sticking around, Colin. As I know what it feels like to host a podcast when you've been out of a fantasy football league. It's not fun, but we're almost at the home stretch, and then you can focus your efforts on other things such as fantasy basketball and other fantasy sports such as Alan Wake 2. You can play Alan Wake 2. It's a great game. It's a great fantasy sport. Anyways, tune in next week as things shape up and we talk more about the happenings of a fantasy football league that none of you know about or exist. With that in mind, as always, I'm Corby.
I'm Colin.
And I'm Luke.
Gamers, say gamers.
A gamer's game on.
I got runny cheese. On the queen, pop it like a cheese. On the queen, pop it like a cheese.
감사합니다. Yum 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 yum. Yum yum yum.
Shut it like it greasy, shut it like it cheesy. Shut it like it greasy, shut it goes, it's like it's hot. Shut it like it greasy, shut it like it cheesy. Shut it like it greasy, shut it goes, it's like it's hot.